I've been training calisthenics for a long time, and over the years I realized something. Some calisthenics exercises are amazing. They build strength, muscle, everything you want. Some exercises, not so much. It doesn't mean they're bad. It just means not every exercise fits the goal of building muscle and strength first. That's what we'll talk about today. I've done a ton of skills myself. Handstands, one-arm handstands, lever, planches, trying to progress in any way possible. All of it. And I loved the process. But if your main goal is to build strength and muscle primarily, some of those skills just don't serve the purpose very well. So this video isn't to criticize calisthenics skills, it's to help you understand which exercises actually help you get stronger and build muscle. First of all, there's nothing wrong with training for skills. If that's what motivates you, keep doing it. But when your goal shifts towards building strength and muscle mass, the way you look at exercises needs to change. I've done my fair bit of calisthenics skills training. Handstands, one-arm handstands, planche push-ups, into Maltese and Maltese swinging into planche. And at a certain stage, I was caught in the calisthenics bug. You play the skill game. You try to find a more difficult variation for the sake of difficulty, and then it doesn't become which exercise serves me best for general health, life, strength, muscle building, function. It just becomes what's harder than a Maltese, and then you do it, regardless of whether it really corresponds with your values and goals. I want to keep strength training focused on getting stronger, building muscle, making my body more resilient, physically and mentally. And I feel a lot of calisthenics exercises do a great job at that. They need to be highlighted more, but some skills aren't. And maybe this is why people look at calisthenics often as cool party tricks, but not real strength. Some exercises do a great job at that, and why calisthenics have been, for great reasons, utilized in old school lifting a ton to build the best, in my opinion, non-arguably physiques of all time. With all of the advancements, more machines, more tools we have, more information, more research, more videos and tutorials, the best physiques utilized calisthenics from the silver and golden era. We're talking about Steve Reeves, Sergio Nubre, Sergio Oliva, Marvin Eder, Franco Colombo, the best Mike Mentzer, the best physiques utilized a lot of calisthenics movements, sometimes doing pull-ups and chin-ups exclusively as their back workout, Sergio Oliva or Marvin Eder. Mike Mentzer said he referred to the dips as the squat of the upper body, and I believe he preferred the dips over the bench press, is how much he valued them. At the end of the day, there are exercises that are extremely valuable and can benefit you a ton for strength and muscle building. And which exercises are they? I think if your main focus is building strength and muscle, like it was for me when I started training, and like it is for me right now, you need to make sure two conditions exist. One is use exercises that utilize the most amount of muscle mass, whether that's a compound or whether that's an isolation exercise, because I do believe the combination of both is the best. The second condition is you need to find exercises that are progressible. In other words, you can apply progressive overload for years, potentially even decades, okay? Exercise needs to be sustainable. In calisthenics, often means of progression is changing the exercise entirely. Which muscles are you loading? It's not really the same pattern anymore. It's just difficult in a different sense. Some calisthenics skills are too specific and not stable enough to allow you to really exert yourself and strain in a manner that enables strength and muscle building long term. Okay? Which exercises do I think will serve you the best? It's the same exercises, generally speaking, that old school lifters find a ton of benefits using. It's exercises, you actually make them harder by increasing, listen carefully, this is the important part, by increasing the load. You need to increase the load as means of progression to build the most amount of strength and muscle. Let me give you a few examples. You take a movement like the push-ups. What's a way to make it harder? You do dips. Same movement pattern, same similar muscle groups, but now with the whole body weight instead of feet supported on the ground with the push-up. You take dips, now you do weighted dips. Now imagine doing weighted dips with extra 100 kilogram attached with a dip belt. That will build you an insane physique. Another example, you take assisted pull-ups, you progress them into pull-ups with your full body weight, so you increase the load. And now you are working towards one-arm pull-up progressions, so you still increase the load as means of progressing. Imagine doing 3 sets of 5, each arm doing one-arm pull-ups. You basically have, this is how difficult it is, lifetime of progress just thinking about 3 sets of 5 one-arm pull-ups each arm. Another example, pike push-up into feet elevated pike push-up, and then wall-assisted handstand push-up into full range handstand push-up. So you do increase the range even as means of progression. Up to a certain point, it's definitely viable. It will make better shoulder gains. And you can even do archer handstand push-up like I'm demonstrating in today's video. More load as means of progression. Instead of changing the exercise, making it less stable, or changing the lever arm or joint angle, doing skills to just unlock the next harder skill, regardless of how much you generally benefit from it. And at a certain point, if you don't compete in gymnastics or calisthenics, why do it? You really have to think about what matters for you more, what aligns with your values, and put more of your resources into that. And admittedly, this is where weight training, dumbbells or barbells, is viable in my opinion for the lower body. You can make a great workout and impressive legs using just body weight. You can increase load as means of progression, taking air squats into pistol squat and increasing range of motion, etc. But even pistol squat, one-legged squat, skater squat, they can get too easy, beyond the muscle building and strength training rep ranges. But another way that you can add load as means of progression, using body weight only, if that's how you want to train, is to actually do more isolation exercises, because now you are using all of your body weight on more isolated muscle groups. Imagine Nordic curls. They are very challenging for most. Most people can't even do 1 rep. So let alone do it single leg Nordic curl. Imagine that. And sissy squats, it's the same for the quads, right? Imagine 1 leg sissy squats. That's how much load it is on 1 single quad. It's insane. So you do have a lot of ways to progress using isolation exercise for the lower body, or plyometrics exercise of this nature. You can still build athletic legs. It's more challenging, and this is where I do think that generally adding weight is necessary. Unlike the upper body, where I honestly believe that calisthenics is superior. Not that it needs to be your sole practice, but that's my advice. If you want one-on-one coaching, check the link in the description. Schedule a free call with me. Let's see if it's a good fit. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. If you love the video, talk to you on the next one.